Catalonia's president has pulled back from declaring independence for the region amid growing fears among business leaders, European politicians and Catalans that an abrupt split from Spain would cause untold turmoil. President Carles Puigdemont told the Catalan parliament on Tuesday that Catalonia had won the right to declare independence after a chaotic referendum on October 1 that saw 90% of voters support sovereignty. However, only 42% of eligible voters cast ballots, and the central government in Madrid called the vote illegal. The Spanish government sent in thousands of national police to stop the referendum, and violence broke out when police officers closed 400 polling stations, beat some voters with clubs and fired rubber bullets into a crowd. The yes to independence has won the referendum under the raining down of baton blows, Mr. Puigdemont said on Tuesday as thousands of people gathered in the streets of Barcelona. As a result of the referendum, Catalonia has won the right to be an independent state and for Spain to listen to us. However, he said he would not declare independence immediately and instead called for negotiations. That is what we are doing here in all solemnity, and with the same solemnity we propose that Parliament suspends the declaration of independence to start dialogue to reach an agreed solution, he said. Story continues below. Advertisement. Read also Globe editorial. To keep Catalonia, Spain needs to learn from Canada by stepping back from the brink. Mr. Puigdemont is hoping to ease tensions that have been building in Spain since the referendum, and calm the anxiety that has gripped leaders across Europe. The threat of Catalan independence had barely been on the European radar until a few weeks ago, when Mr. Puigdemont insisted that if the yes side won the referendum on October 1, he would declare independence within 48 hours. Puigdemont puts Catalan independence on hold. Reuters. Spain's heavy-handed response to the voting caused much soul-searching in Europe, and the prospect of the fourth-largest member of the European Union falling apart prompted leaders, including German Chancellor Angela Merkel and French President Emmanuel Macron, to rally around Madrid and push Mr. Puigdemont to seek dialogue. Spanish Prime Minister Mariano Rajoy has so far rejected calls for negotiations, arguing that Catalonia has to completely withdraw any declaration of independence first. And Mr. Rajoy hasn't ruled out invoking a section of the country's constitution, known as Article 155, that would effectively suspend the Catalan parliament and put the administration of the region in the hands of Madrid. Mr. Puigdemont has not indicated how long he would wait before declaring independence, and he has called on the EU to mediate the dispute. While the standoff continues, the economic consequences of the instability have begun to sink in. Spain is only beginning to recover from the 2008 financial crisis, and economists have raised concerns about the uncertainty, particularly since Catalonia is one of the most prosperous parts of Spain. Debt rating agency DBRS recently confirmed its A low rating on Spain, with AAA being the highest rating, but the firm noted this week that the rating could change if there was a period of prolonged and elevated tension in Catalonia. More than 30 Catalan businesses, including 2 major banks, have also announced plans to pull their headquarters out of the region because of the instability. Many leaders said they had no choice but to relocate to Madrid because an independent Catalonia would not be part of the EU, and these companies risked losing access to the EU single market if they didn't move their registered office. The Madrid government has also passed legislation making it easier for companies to pull out. Story continues below. Advertisement. This pressure of companies leaving, they aren't hurting the Catalan economy yet, but they are making a lot of voters hesitate, said Edgar Rivera, a political consultant based in Barcelona. He noted that while Catalans who voted yes want the region to be independent one day, only a small percentage of those voters backed an immediate withdrawal from Spain. And he said that has caused divisions within Mr. Puigdemont's governing coalition, which has a small majority in parliament. What has become clear these days is that some parts of the Catalan government have some doubts about pushing independence forward, he said. The regional parliament is also bitterly divided over independence, and several opposition leaders slammed Mr. Puigdemont's speech on Tuesday, saying he had forced us to turn against one another. Inés Arrimadas, who heads one of the main opposition parties, said, "The majority of Catalans feels they are Catalans, Spanish and European. We won't let you break our hearts into bits." Antonio Barroso, a managing director at London-based consulting firm Teneo Intelligence, called Mr. Puigdemont's speech ambiguous. The president tried to satisfy both the more moderate and radical elements of the secessionist movement, Mr. Barroso said. And it puts the ball on the court of Prime Minister Mariano Rajoy. He expects Mr. Rajoy to take a hard line and invoke Article 155 because I think there is a feeling in Madrid that things cannot continue as they are right now. And he believes that Mr. Rajoy is acutely aware of the potential harm the Catalan situation is having on the Spanish economy. Mr. Barroso added that the EU is worried about Catalonia encouraging other regions, notably Scotland and parts of Italy and France, to break away. It opens a precedent by which specific territorial units of member states can challenge the established constitutional order of the state and bypass the state in their pursuit of any goal, he said. I think the EU, which is a law-based organization, would want to see this, and that's why the Commission has been strongly behind the Spanish government. Story continues below. Advertisement.